Hello, guys, welcome. In today's session, we are going to see what is the use of the corresponding keyword, which is part of the ABAP 7.4 syntax. All right, so let's begin. And yeah, if you have not subscribed to my channel, I would ask you to subscribe to my channel first, and then like and also comment if you would like to, yeah. So without wasting time, let's get started now. So I'm going to declare my first types, first structure as data1. Okay, in here I will declare some fields, okay, some columns which I'll be making use of to store some data. Okay, I'll say I'll keep it as I'll also provide c2 as c3 maybe, and c4 and c5. Okay, no, I won't give c5 maybe. Okay, I will end this structure here, and I will also create another structure. Okay, so basically I'm going to create two internal tables, and I'm going to pass the data from the fields, between the fields of these tables. Okay, so I will provide it as c5 type I, and c6 type I, and then c7 type I, and yeah, so that's it. And I will also provide some the fields. I'm just trying to explain to you the real use of this keyword, how this can be used, and what all scenarios you can make use of this. Okay, and now I'll declare my itab1, okay, which is based on the first types. Okay, I'm going to declare itab1, which is basically based on this type of data1. So you will this would actually this for table, internal table declaration. And then now what I'll do is I'll use this keyword called value. Okay, I'll explain about this keyword also later. Okay, but I just want to append certain values to these fields. So for that, I'm just showing you this syntax. Okay, so in here I will provide c1 equals what, some value, and c2 equals to 2, c3 equals to 4 maybe, c4 equals okay, c3 equals 3, and c4 let it be 4. Okay, so I'm providing these values for the internal table. I'm just not going to select every time. In my previous tutorials, if you see, I would have selected it from the database. So here I'm just trying to append values to this internal table itab, okay, based on these fields. It has all these 4 fields, right? So I'm going to put certain values inside this. Okay, and for the second row I'll provide certain values. I'll provide something like 10, 20. Okay, here I provided 30 and 40. So these are the I'll have an internal table with 2 rows, right? So that is why I have used this value keyword. Okay, so I'll be explaining about in detail about this value keyword in one session. I will be uploading that soon. So this is I'm just added 2 rows to this internal table. So now what I need now is I have this I'll be creating one more internal table based on this type, and I'll be trying to pass values between these two internal tables. So for that, what I'll do is I will provide I will also declare this internal table maybe for you to understand this. I will also take a different session in which I'll explain internal table creation parts. Okay, so now I don't need to declare this because I've already declared it. Then I'll say itab2 equals corresponding. Okay, this is the keyword which we are talking about in this session. So this keyword, and then symbol, you have to you have to provide the table from which you need the mapping. Okay, so basically if you do like this, all the fields from this table, okay, will be mapped with this table. Let's see how, in what order they are going to, in what order it's going to get mapped. at first I'm not doing anything, I'm just providing this value here. Okay, plain itab1 I'm giving. Okay, so let's see in the output what comes. Okay, what is going to happen in the output. So I'll use the demo class to display the output. I will ask it to display itab2. Let's check the syntax. Syntactically correct. Activate the program. Activated. Execute. Now you can see only C1 and C2 is getting copied. Okay, the C1 and C2 is present in the itab1, right? So that is getting mapped to C1 and C2, which is also there in itab2. If you had seen my declaration, C1 and C2 is also there in itab2. So basically it is mapping the fields with the same field names. Okay, itab2 has C1 and C2, so it is basically mapping C1 and C2 of itab1 with C1 and C2 of itab2, and all the other fields are not getting mapped. Okay, so this is how it is working. This keyword corresponding is working in that fashion now. So now what I'll do is now C1 and C2 is getting mapped, right? So I'll remove this C1 and C2. Okay, so now in this case nothing will get mapped. Okay, you will not find anything in the output because basically it is not mapped anything. So if I need to map explicitly, if I need to tell the compiler what is to be mapped with what, okay, what from itab1 has to be mapped to itab2, if I need to specify that with the mapping keyword, okay, you have a keyword called mapping which you use to map, I'll say C5 equal to maybe C1, okay, then C6 equals to C2, C7 equals to C3. Okay, so I am mapping C5 of this table with C1, C6 with C2, and C7 with C3. That's what I'm doing here. Okay, let me check, activate it again, execute. So now you can see all the two rows are getting mapped. Okay, based on what? Based on the mapping keyword which you have added in addition to the, you know, this corresponding keyword. If you specify the mapping addition with that, you are going to explicitly map the fields of the two internal tables. Okay, that's what it says, and that's what it is displayed, right? So now what if I have I will also add this maybe I'll add this also. Okay, C3 type I, C4 type. So these are the variations of using this corresponding keyword. Okay, so now let me activate this. So basically it will map what it will map. It will map everything, right? Because C1, C2, C3, C4 is there in itab1 also, right? So even if you don't specify the mapping keyword, it is going to map all these fields with the fields which are there in itab1. Okay, but if I don't want C3, if I don't want C3 in that list, now everything is getting displayed, right? Now if you saw everything, I don't want C3 to be displayed. Okay, I don't want C3 to be mapped basically. For that, what I'll do is I'll say except C3, so that I'm saying that you map everything. Okay, if you have the same field names, you go map it, but don't map C3 is what I'm saying here. Okay, I'm saying except C3. So let me activate this, execute this once again. You can see C3 is becoming 0. Okay, because it has not got mapped, it is taking the initial value as 0. Okay, so that is how you're going to use the mapping, this corresponding keyword in addition with mapping and except also. Okay, so that's it with this tutorial, and I'll be coming back with much more tutorials. Okay, this is syntax. This is a new syntax, and yeah, quite new for many of you people. So yeah, so if you really like the video, please do like and also comment. Please do not forget to subscribe to this channel. Thank you.